Welcome back. All right, so trade to announce here and discuss. The Toronto Maple Leafs have made an acquisition that shows they're all in, and it is not really a surprise. The one thing with Toronto, of course, is there's going to be a lot of discussion of, well, that's not going to get you out of the first round and all this. And I've seen it, and honestly, while I understand that some think it's kind of a tired idea, the reality is until they get out of the first round, that's the storyline that's going to be there. One example I would use is Ovechkin couldn't win a cup until he did. Right before that, it was always, well, Ovi's never going to win a cup. He's not going to win it. He can't. He's not a playoff performer, even though that was false. And so for Toronto today, they picked up Jake McCabe, defenseman, of course. 55 games, 2 goals, 18 assists, 20 points. He's 29 years of age. The Chicago Blackhawks have retained 50% of the salary. Sam Lafferty picked up as well by the Toronto Maple Leafs. 51 games, 10 goals, 11 assists, 21 points. So here's what I find interesting. Ryan O'Reilly and Jake McCabe are the big names they picked up. I really like the additions of Noel Acciari and Sam Lafferty. Lafferty's 27 years of age, and he's playing really well. Now, whether that carries over to Toronto, I don't know, because a lot of that, I think, was him and Dickinson having good chemistry with one another. But I think Lafferty will bring something to that bottom six. He's a good penalty killer, something that was said as well about Acciari. So clearly they're worried. Well, not worried's the wrong term. They are trying to make sure that their bottom six is well insulated for a playoff run. There's some scoring in that bottom six. Like I said, with Lafferty, you're getting 10 goals. They also get 2 conditional draft picks. They're both fifth rounders in 2024 and 2025. Now going the other way to Chicago, Joey Anderson, who's played 14 games for Toronto this year, 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 points. Towards the start of Joey Anderson's career, I thought, pretty good player. Could end up being a regular. Could be a lot of fun to watch. It just hasn't worked out. He's 24 years of age. So I would think Chicago probably gives him a chance before the end of the season. Pavel Gogolev goes the other way as well. 33 games, 21 goals, 27 assists, 48 points for him, playing for the Newfoundland Growlers of the ECHL. He's 23 years of age. So this is basically just 2 contracts in, 2 contracts out. So that's something to keep in mind. Teams can only have 50 contracts at a time. So there will be times where you see, like yesterday's massive trade between New Jersey and San Jose, a lot of all the additionals, to me, it's just trying to make sure you've got the right amount of contracts and all that other fun stuff. Players that probably won't play for you, but you're trying to make sure that you're keeping everything on the up and up. Also going to Chicago, a conditional 2025 first and a 2026 second round pick. I'm wearing Toronto because I like what they're doing here. I like the Ryan O'Reilly deal. I like the Jake McCabe deal here too. I think they're doing well. Yes, they're sacrificing some of their future, but they are in win now mode and they should be. For Kyle Dubas, this is a big year. If Toronto were to lose in the first round again, if Toronto were to stumble and look bad in the playoffs, it could reflect on his job. And so he is trying to make sure that he keeps his job and puts the Leafs in a position where they can win. Jake McCabe is a really solid addition to this blue line, and I think he will. I think he'll help, and I think that's really the key thing here. Have the Toronto Maple Leafs improved themselves with these 2 trades? My answer to that would be yes. And so that's the important thing, right? Is that the Leafs are improving themselves now. Because if they're going to get through anywhere in the playoffs, they have to get past the Tampa Bay Lightning, and then they might have to get past Boston unless Boston were to lose in the first round, right? So we'll see what happens, but I like this trade for Toronto. I also will say this. Chicago got good value for Lafferty and McCabe. Lafferty would not have had value if they'd been trying to trade him in September, but he had value now. So Chicago did a good job of building up the value of the asset and getting back a conditional 2025 first. Not bad either. So not saying Chicago loses the trade or they did terrible, because for Chicago, this is all about the future, and it's a nice move on their part. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.